Kimla Company is sponsored by LowTeamRealty.com. Buy low, sell high with Keller Williams, Lake Travis Marketplace, Austin, Texas. Let us refer you to an expert agent near you. Buy low, sell high with LowTeamRealty.com. Hello, everyone. Welcome. You're listening to Kimla Company right here on Contact Talk Radio. I'm your host, Kimla Lowe, and I'm a metaphysical counselor. I also am an astrologer, Western and Chinese. And I also am a consultant for Feng Shui. So with that, I am so sorry we're late in connecting this evening. We had some technical difficulties. Must have been that fantastic full moon out there, everybody. Thanks so much for coming along with me this evening. It is January 28th, 2021. It is the first full moon of the year. And I want to say hey to everybody out there who is either an Aquarian or a Leo, because the sun is in Aquarius and the moon is in Leo. And we've got this wonderful, dramatic force coming at us like you cannot believe. So it is such a fantastic display up in the sky. I hope you get a chance to go out and take a look at it. And if you are somewhere where it's cloudy or rainy, take my word for it, it is spectacular. I want to begin tonight in saying that I am offering free readings tonight, and that would be calling in. And that would mean that the number to call in is 844-390-8255. Again, the number to call in is 844-390-8255. All righty. We're going to get that out of the way right now. So we have had kind of a little jumble going on for the last couple of weeks. So getting my schedule straight and also getting the sound waves straight. We are doing it no matter what. You know, I pulled some cards tonight just to get us started. And you can't make this stuff up, I swear. But clairsentience is the first card that I drew. And during this time, the angels are all around us. And they bring in this extra power of unseen energy, unseen guidance. And they're there for each and every one of us during this dramatic time. So for all of us here following around live tonight, I just want to bring in the angels to really give us an extra sign that we are not alone as we are going through more changes and more shifts and trying to keep our head above this new frequency as we are moving into the photon belt out into the universe, which means it's a whole different type of energy. It's kind of like, you know, going from grade school up to high school. You're sort of like, wow, big time, right? And then as we get into it, as far as 2024, then we're going to be on the college campus and we're really going to know how independent, yet how free and how on track we will really want to be. And we want to stay motivated during this time. So with this particular angelic boost that we're calling in for all of the angels to come in and the archangels to come in, I'm really hearing that they've been lined up for some time and they're very delighted that they're being called in for each and every one of us this evening. The next card that I pulled was the card of courage. And this full moon is in Leo, which is a fire sign. Leos are all about leading the pride. They're all about being king of the jungle. They are the ones in leadership. They are the ones that feel very, very responsible for not only their own tribe, but for everyone that is contained within planet Earth. And they have such compassion. And so the organ that relates to Leo is the heart. And when they have so much compassion and they have this heartfelt need to not only feel loved, but also to love in return, and also to be very, very loyal to the ones that they do love. So when you are in a leadership position, what does it take? It takes courage. Remember the Wizard of Oz? Yeah, the lion, he needed courage, right? He needed courage and he needed a heart. And I have to tell you that this is an amazing display tonight with the moon in Leo. You know, we get a full moon, and the only way we do get this bright full moon is the reason the sun is directly opposite the moon, shining brightly onto the moon in full culmination.
Caller on hold.
So the sun is there in Aquarius, and it is conjunct, it is kissing Jupiter. So it is just, Jupiter makes everything expand. So it's expanding this particular light and this power of the sun that's coming in at this particular time. So it's expanding all this wonderfulness that Leos absolutely hold. We have a caller that's calling in, so I'd love to get them on the air. Hello, caller. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Kimla?
I am good. I am good. We've got a little bit of frequency coming through. Who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to Vonda. Should I turn my volume down a little bit?
Yeah, that would be great. Turn your volume down just a little bit. Hi, Vonda. Happy full moon. How are you?
Hi. I'm doing great. How are you doing? Is that better?
A little bit more down.
Okay, I'm okay to hear you. Wait a minute.
That's good. Right there's good.
Okay, thank you. I'm doing great, Kimla, and I'm happy to be able to join you tonight. It took me a while to get on, but because I didn't hear you at first, I didn't hear anybody. But yeah, I just wanted to ask. My Pluto is in. I was born my natal chart Pluto in Leo. What would that say to me now in this full moon that we're in? That's in Leo.
Okay, so give me the question again. You're a little too close to your device. So something about Leo and how that's going to affect you, the moon in Leo today?
Yes, because can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, because I stepped back from the phone. My Pluto is in Leo, in my natal chart, the 5th house.
So is mine. I love it. We're going to get into that too, because not only is this wonderful, the sun is kissing Jupiter at this particular time. And even though Jupiter is invisible at this time, so it's kind of a diluted expansion, but Venus, the planet of love, is also at the very same degree as Pluto at this particular full moon. So I'm glad you asked that question. So Pluto has this transformational energy, and Pluto has what we call, they're the ones that are in charge of bringing in the vibration and the frequency to different generations. because Pluto stays within a sign for around 18 years. And so they say, well, every 20 years we have a new generation. So if you have Pluto in Leo, so do I. So we were both born in that particular generation that Pluto was actually in Leo. And, you know, it's funny because Pluto actually intensifies any type of generation it goes into. So intensifying the Leo energy, you saw it all through the 80s and the 90s where we had the big hair, we had big shoulders, we had big wallets, we had big high shoes. So right? And, you know, it was, remember the big fur coats we had? I mean, you know, it was, and the hair was just huge, huge, huge. You know, Leos love to have their manes, right? So you see that so clearly when Pluto intensifies the drama, the fashion, anything to do with, we looked up to our leaders, we looked up to the leadership of what was going on there. And also, Leos love gold. So back then, that's when we had a lot of gold. You remember the gold chains everyone wore, and the cougar, the gold coins? That was very popular. So when you have this beautiful full moon happening, we are going to get a little bit of that. It's not directly lined up with Pluto, but Venus is. So we're going to love bigger, better. It's kind of more dramatic. As a matter of fact, you may have thought to yourself, oh, you know, I want to put my hair out tonight, or I want to do something. I want to get glammed up a little bit tonight. We've all been pretty much held down with the pandemic. And, you know, you might want to, may wanted to bust out in song and dance and have a good time. You know,
I've been dancing and singing for the last hour and a half.
That's what it wants to do. The thing that I love about that people don't really understand anymore, because the generations now are totally different. But let's just say when Pluto went into Virgo, the blonde hair turned into more of subdued. Virgo is, you know, Virgo is more conservative, detail oriented, kind of likes to be in the background, not so much in the spotlight like the Leo. But that was when the glasses, you know, really came back in, and to be more subdued and quiet was really in, and to be more of an assistant was really in. And then we, you know, and then after Virgo, of course, we go into Libra. And with Libra, everyone wanted to be a fashion model. Everybody wanted to have things in balance. This is when Feng Shui really started to kick in. Not just that, but Libras love to design and decorate. And so we had all these channels coming on board for decorating and home, you know, do-it-yourself home programs and things like that. When also when it went into Sagittarius, we had all of this type of intensification for Sagittarius about religion. You know, all these different religious different factors. Either they became very fanatical, or we broke them down as to say, where are the flaws in religion, right? As far as abuse, as far as money, as far as them obtaining a lot of property. And also, and also the different religions were put into the public spotlight. So it wasn't just Christmas. We also honored Hanukkah and a lot of the other holidays as well. So that all went into the schools as well. When it came into, yes, and so now it's into Capricorn, and it's going to move out of Capricorn on in 2023, and it'll be transferred into Aquarius in 2024. Now, when Pluto went into Capricorn, Capricorn rules business. So everybody had to have an office in their home because you were doing business from home. And also all of the flaws to do with business, government, also any kind of authority. Now, also Capricorn rules building and architecture and things like that. It's really the sign of the builder. So a lot of people preferred building their own home versus resale. So real estate became in the forefront, and everyone wanted to be their own realtor. So you saw a lot of websites popping up like Zillow and all of this stuff to really bring real estate into your life. So you really, and so you're made to believe you don't need that middleman anymore, even though you do because of the, the laws of the states. So we are looking for another change, a huge change. And I'm so glad you brought up this subject of Pluto, because tonight, during this full moon, we have got Venus kissing Pluto. So we are very passionate, very intense. We want to get to the bottom of things. And not just that, Vanda, but we have we've got this polarization. We've got Leo here, and the exact opposite is Aquarius. So the sun and Jupiter is in Aquarius. But then we've got a T. We've got like a T forming. And at that particular T mark will also be Uranus and Mars. That brings in the agitation. That brings in the static. That brings in people kind of testing you and pushing you and kind of flaring up your temper a little bit. How are you going to handle that? Well, when you're a moon child like you are, Miss Vanda, you are going to be extremely emotional and think it's that you have done something wrong. Did I do something wrong? Now I'm worried that I overdid it, underscored. I'm sure I'm just nervous. I'm worried about everything. And so what the water signs, what's going on right now with the water signs? I'm going to tell you. The water signs are your way out. It's to get creative, because this particular full moon in Leos rule creativity. They love to highlight children. They really rule the West location within your home. And this particular time is a perfect time to just kind of pull back of all the rhetoric and all the disappointments and all the static and all the stuff that's going on the outside, and get creative on the inside and develop a passion for a project where you can channel all that energy into, and you're not going to worry about if they like it or not, who's saying what's going on. You are just in the zone, being that creative person that you are, no matter how you are expressing yourself. This is what's so important right now, how to handle all of this energy that's so jam-packed right now. We have got Lilith is showing up, and Lilith is the feminine warrior who was said to be Adam's first wife. That gave him a very, very hard time. And so he kind of, she went, they split. She went on her own way, and he was given Eve. But I'm saying that the feminine is rising up. Okay, we are getting our power. We are really going to be noticing the huge shift coming when Pluto moves into Aquarius. And like I said, that is going to happen in a couple years. It's truly going to be transformed in 2024. Hang in there. People are saying, oh, that, all of this was supposed to go down and we are supposed to be transformed. The earth does not move like that. It would be too earth-shattering to move so quickly, right? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So each of us, we have to find the courage to express ourselves more, okay? Because if we do not get creative, if we do not express ourselves in the way when using the gifts that we have, you fall into a depression because you are not flowing. Number one, your chi isn't flowing, but number two is you are not proud of yourself. And when when you're using your God-given talents, you are happy. Your soul is singing. You are proud of yourself. You're not letting yourself down. You're not doubting yourself. But if you, for some reason, are not honoring your creativity and the gifts that you were given, you are not going to feel grounded, productive on your mission, using your spiritual source. And I'm asking everybody during this time, especially opening your heart chakra to this wonderful Leo energy, get creative. Even if you're getting a lot of slack, oh, we don't have enough money. You don't know what you're doing. Go forward.
Well, I'm doing my class you suggested. I am starting Sunday on the 31st until February 21st. I'm doing a class on the chakras. So I have 4 weeks of chakras. It starts on the 31st. You mentioned that to me in December. It would be good to have a class like that. And I started, and I've been working all day, yesterday, day before, putting together my PowerPoint and everything. So you're right. It is time to be creative.
It is. It's wonderful. That's a great class. And if people are interested in joining your class, how do they do that?
They're interested in joining my class. They can go to Baltimore Yoga Village.
What is it again? What is it again?
Baltimore, the city. Baltimore Yoga Village.
Yoga Village.
Like a village.
Baltimore Yoga Village.
And they can Yoga Village. Yeah, and they're $15 a class, so they're not expensive. We're doing things where people could come in and get this love and this healing and information and things like that. It's $15 a class, so $60 for 4 classes. And I've gotten quite a few people signed up already, and they could go there, or they can go into Eventbrite and look up Vanda, Vanda, Guzman, Guzman, and they'll see my event to come up, and they can actually pay for it up until the 31st.
Well, I just want to give you a message that Vanda is an amazing spiritual person. She has an amazing gift of voice as her musical instrument. And she has a beautiful song out, Life is Beautiful. And I highly, highly recommend anything that Vonda does. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I know that your divine purpose is to bring healing to others. And this is just a new way of you being creative. So thanks so much for calling in, Vonda. God bless, honey. Have fun with your chakra.
Thank you, honey. I love you. Yes, thank you. Thank you. You told me to do it, and the Spirit said, yep, that's right, do it. So it's done.
I'm so proud of you. Well, thank you so much. And you keep in touch with us, okay?
I certainly will. I love you and continue to serve as you do in giving and giving. And I loved your webinar, by the way, and from Florida. And we're all moving forward. And I'm just so happy to have you in my life.
I'm so glad you brought that up. Yes, you can join Age of Aquarius on my website, our private group, and you will be able to get the Rebound and Recover seminar that we did in Florida for free. Otherwise, you'll have to buy it on my website. But we kicked it off. We had our first meeting. We kicked it off. It was great. And I hope everybody signs up. So hit my website, Kimla Lowe, LOWE.com, and sign up to be a private group with the Age of Aquarius. We're going to have guest speakers, and we're going to have a lot of personal work done as well. So I am so glad you brought all of this up, Vonda. Thank you so much. You're such a gift. I appreciate that.
You're so welcome. I appreciate you.
All right. Go in love and light, honey. We'll talk later.
Much love. Take care.
Bye-bye. Okay, everybody. That was so nice of her to call in. If you would like to call in for a reading, the number is 844-390-8255. So here we are. We were talking about this wonderful full moon and how are we going to handle all of this? You know, the universe is such a wonderful, when you study astrology, what it is it's the universe kind of weaving this tapestry as above, so below. And with this particular full moon, this is our first full moon of the year, kind of directs us into exactly what the first year that we're approaching here, 21, is really kicking off a great start, and it's going to be intense. It's going to be dramatic. We are all going to have to bone up a little bit more courage to go forward and to really kind of step over all these obstacles that are in our way and show leadership from inside of each of us. We expect this wonderful leadership from up above. It has got to start with ourselves at a local format first, okay? And so in doing that, I encourage each and every one of you to shop local, buy local, introduce yourself to the locals around you, the people who are your essential responders, who are going to be at your beck and call when perhaps you are in an emergency situation. Get to know these people, support people who have brilliant new ideas for solving problems within your own community. Also, serve your local food bank. That may be your only source at some time, in your life, or for your family, or for the ones around you that you work with. Local food banks are an amazing resource. So if you have any kind of charities or you just want to make a donation, please put that very high up on your list. Okay, and also wherever you're living, if you are, let's just say, in one of the zones that are susceptible to severe weather conditions, whether you're coastal, whether you are perhaps, in the mountainous areas or the tornado belt or hurricane, situations in that part. your emergency situation there, make sure that everyone is boned up or is taken care of, or that you have your water and everything that you need, because we do have this wonderful Aquarian energy, which is ruled by Uranus. And Uranus loves to shake, rattle, and roll, loves to put on this great show with severe weather at a moment's notice. It doesn't matter what season you are in. It could be something that just comes right out of left field. And so just make sure that you're prepared ahead of time for anything that you may need, okay? And that means anything as far as batteries, or, extra food in your pantry, or make sure that you don't really let your car go below a half a tank of gas, just in case of an emergency, and have everything in your car or in your home that you would need in case you don't have any heat and those kinds of things. Because we are going into Aquarius big time. I mean, there's going to be 6 planets that are going to be just going through Aquarius, and February is going to be one of those months where, and I have to say, we've got Mercury retrograde coming up, and that's going to be in Aquarius January 30th. And so this particular full moon is lighting up the, kind of lighting up this dramatic, intense energy to really kind of push up and rebirth. Remember, Leo is a fire sign. Fire signs are the ones who really like a lot of action. They give spark to what's going on. And on the other side of Leo is Aquarius. Aquarius is all about the mental structure, all about a higher mind. It's also very inventive. Aquarians are masters at observing, at discerning. They may come off that they are kind of cool, calm, collected. And then, we've got Aquarius shadow, which is Leo. And Leo is this big, warm, hearted sign. So both of these are interacting at the same time, because sometimes Leos are so gracious and they love to give without thinking, just exactly how expansive their gestures are. And that's what Aquarius is so good at, pulling back and saying, look, we're just going to give a little here and there. This makes more sense. So they both have this wonderful communication going on. And that's exactly what we are experiencing. So on January 30th, we've got Mercury, the planet of communication and commerce, also travel. That is going to be going into retrograde until February 20th in the sign of Aquarius. And we've got February, a big lineup. The sun is going to be there. Venus is going to be moving in there. It's going to be an amazing time. And what we're going to find out basically is Aquarians love to think about solving problems at a global level. Not just me, I, but what's good for the group is good for myself. So they're going to be teaching us about solving problems, not only in our perspective, but also not only what's good for the planet Earth, but it's going to take us up a level, and it's going to show us that we are now invited into the galactic perspective. So what is really affecting us here on Earth actually has ripples and rumbles all the way through the universe and the galaxy. I kid you not, you are going to be getting proof of what we do here on a daily basis, you and I, like mundane things, is going to is we're going to have a lesson about how these particular things travel through the ethers and really affect other worlds that perhaps we don't even have on the map yet. So this is this big, expansive perspective we are going to all experience. And we're going to get it in little tiny doses, but they're going to be very intense. So I know that a lot of you have no idea where Aquarius is in your birth chart. I would love to show you. And you can get your birth chart free on my website, kimlalowe.com. All you need to do is go and sign up, and I send you your birth chart. And if you would like to, I would love to spend an hour with you showing you your soul imprint of your birth chart and also where the planets are now, so that you can see exactly the challenges that are coming in for the next year. And I have to tell you that February, we've got this other huge shift that's coming in, having to do with Chinese astrology. And the new Chinese year of the metal ox is coming in. And what we want to do is align ourselves in our directions for the particular solar new year by February 4th. In Chinese astrology, we have two new years. One is the solar new year, which we guard all of our feng shui on. And another one is the lunar new year on February 12th, where we chart and all of the Chinese astrology charts go by. So it is, yeah, it's a little bit confusing. You have to have somebody very good that knows how to plot those Chinese charts, but they're accurate. Oh my, they're just fabulous in showing you exactly the elements, the colors, what you need to do, the days that are going to be fabulous for you if you're signing any contracts, if you're moving, if you want to present something, if you want to actually open doors or perhaps launch your website. These are things that are absolutely pinpointing. And I'm just going to say it's a requirement for your timeline going into 2021, because it's going to be a very big, huge push with technology, also with the health industry. We are kind of abandoning a level um, uh, in the pharmaceutical world that is not of our frequency any longer. It's not having the same effect that it did at one time. So the health industry is really going to be coming up with brilliant opportunities and avenues in having a wonderful effect on our health in a new way. We're going to be finding cures for things that have plagued us for decades. And we are also going to be incorporating and upgrading our bodies and our systems as well. So we have all of this to look forward to going into the next period that's going to be starting. So having your Chinese chart prepared for you really shows you not only your own timeline, but what you can actually do with the space around you. Because where you're living, how you're living, the things that you have, the directions around you really affect you. The amount of clutter that you have, where your water is located. Is it best to have your pool in the back of the house, in the front of the house? What if you are living at the beach? Do you want to do you want to have your house facing the beach? Do you want to have your backyard on the beach? Also rivers, mountains. You don't want to be at the very, very top of the mountain, but you want to have the mountain wrap around you. And that's why they always look for that little valley with the peak of the mountain behind you and that little plateau with the valley in front. It's almost like you're sitting in an easy chair. And that way you have the protection on your back. You always want your protection on your back, and you always want an open view in front of you. This carries over into any kind of decorating as well, interior design. I always say, you never really want to have, especially in your office, you don't really want to have a picture of an ocean behind you. You really want, because your business will really kind of liquidate, and you don't want to really go into that. You want to have those pictures in front of you. There's a whole system and a whole theory about the meaning of numbers and how the numbers are allocated, not only within your personal chart, your Chinese chart, but also within your home. And also the type of business that you have is broken down into numbers as well. So numerology takes a whole different spin, and than your regular numerology that we have in the Western world. So when I prepare a chart for you, I not only do the yin, but I do the yang as well. So you get a really nice rounded consultation as to some new ways of looking at things. So I do really want to tell you that you will get a huge different type of a consultation when you spend time with me. And the guides come through, and if there's anyone that you need to speak with on the other side that perhaps has departed, that you'd like to hear from or has a message for you, that's going to happen as well. So we're going to talk about February at the next show, but I do want to give you a little bit of hope and the light at the end of the tunnel. If you're feeling alone, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling too intense with all of these codes coming in and all of these shifts taking place, I want to tell you that February is going to be one of those months where we're going to have to, do the cha-cha-cha, where it's 2 steps forward and 3 steps back, 2 steps, but you get the momentum going and you pick up things from the past that you left behind that you can bring into the future. And it's a wonderful time to visit old places, old friends. And also it's kind of like, really looking at yourself and saying, what, that's my old self. I'm going to leave that behind, and I'm going to travel into something bigger, newer, better. I'm going to take a risk. And by the time March shows up, sweet baby days, we've got March that's got promise all over it. So build a better boat, ride these waves that we've got, enjoy this wonderful dramatic full moon in Leo. It is just fabulous. Get creative, get within yourself, leave behind what you no longer can use as we are setting up 2021. You and I, we're all on the same page here. We're here to help each other, right? That's right. And we've got guides, we've got angels, and we've got people who are so compassionate that they want to reach out and make things bigger and better. But it starts with ourselves. We have to take responsibility for the work, for our creative nature, and also for honoring each other and the things that we do. So take responsibility, have fun, get creative, and know that the angels are around you and you're never alone. And guess what? Love never dies. Okay? And if things are in your way, it's only temporary. It's just an obstacle to make you stronger, to leap higher and get over them. All right, enjoy all of this. If you can, take a moment to meditate, reach deep in your heart and ask yourself, What do I really deserve? You can have it. It's yours. Until next time, may the angels protect you and guide you. Good night, everyone.